Hello, my friends, and welcome to this weekly reading, tarot card reading, where I'll be covering the week of the 12th of December 2022 to the 18th of December 2022. My first kind of crack at a weekly format, so we'll see how this goes. What I'll do is I will cover the astrology of the day, and then I'll also pull some tarot, pull some cards, some oracle cards for that day, and then I'll move on to the next day. And timestamps will be in the description box below, so if you want to have a look for any of the other days specifically, then you can catch those. But yeah, anything that you want me to include in the respect of this format, do let me know. But otherwise, let's crack on with the reading. Bear with me 1 second, my friends. So we'll begin by looking at the 12th of December 2022, which is a Monday, the day of the moon. And on this day, we have the sun in Sagittarius sextiling Saturn in Aquarius. Now, we've got our last couple of weeks that are happening just before we enter 2022. This is the time to really make an effort to get everything cleared up, everything to be kind of sorted out before the end of the year. Sun in Sagittarius gives us an opportunity to kind of push forward with those things in a new way that we haven't done so before. And Saturn in Aquarius encourages us to have this sense of kind of diligency with having some kind of sense of organization and impetus and motivation towards doing these things. It's time to show all of your professional ethics, high productivity to fulfill all the tasks that you need to. It will take you to a higher level in business if you do follow this. So tax returns, all that kind of thing. In the UK, we need to do our tax returns by the end of January. So it's always a good idea to do them early, get them done. We've also got Mercury retrograde that's happening towards the end of the month. So it is highly advisable that we get everything done by the 25th. So let's see what the tarot has to say about this. Dear Spirit, any messages for December? Okay, so we've got 3. So I'm going to leave it at 3 in this respect. Or we've got 4 here. So we've got the Knight of Coins. We've got the 5 of Wands. We've got the Chariot reversed. And the 9 of Wands. So initially what I'm getting from this is, in following of the energy that I've just picked up on, it's really, I think frugality is something that's really important here. Remember to really only spend really on what you need to spend on. And not just spending money, we're talking about spending your time, effort, energy as well. Keep it within the kind of things that are really going to matter to you, the things that are really going to, that really you need to pay attention to. Any kind of frivolity or going forward in any sense probably needs to be held back a little bit. There may be like some kind of tensions in the respect of you being forward in any respect. Like if anybody's trying to get you to kind of move forward in any way, there may be a bit of resistance in that. There may be some kind of peer pressure that's happening for people to want you to do stuff. It may be family. It also may be work. But what I'm seeing is that you're going to be standing your ground. The heels are definitely going to be dug in. So I think that's a great thing, because you kind of maintain this Knight of Pentacles vibe for Monday, which I think is good. And it's interesting because that's the law of giving in the 7 spiritual laws of success. But we do also employ it's give, receive and circulate. So in the sense of receiving, but it doesn't mean that you have to take it. Like you can receive the thing, but it doesn't mean that you have to keep it or take it on. And also you can also give others, it's more of a circulation process as opposed to just the idea of having to give all the time or having to take all the time. It's understanding the dynamics. I do also feel, though, more importantly, that not doing anything is also something that is a very loud thing to say. So let's see what the astrology has to say for that day. Even though we do have the astrology, let's see what this is. So we've got 12th house, interesting. 12th house, Neptune, Pisces, subconscious, karmic debts, escapism, dreams, endings, afterlife, secrets, subversion, hidden enemies, and seclusion. It was reversed. So it's almost like that means that there's some kind of... that something isn't being allowed to come up to the surface. It might be in waiting for you to take some kind of action before it actually comes forward. I'm getting that sense because it just feels like something is hidden. Something is being hidden from you, Pile. Pile, listen to me. Something is being hidden from you on this day, or the universe is kind of hiding something. It's almost saying that it's not the right time for you to know this. I am getting a bit of a defensive attitude as well, so it may be that it's a really good reason that you don't know this. Sometimes when we don't know things, what we don't know doesn't hurt us, kind of thing, particularly when we've got this 9 of Wands here, and also with the Chariot as well. There's just an essence of not being able to move forward because of fear. But what is the reasoning behind the fear? And it could be because of other people, but there's something behind that as well. And that's what's residing within the 12th house. So in the essence of the 7th spiritual law of success on that Monday, it might be a good idea to give yourself the time and space to be able to experience that emotion, something uncomfortable that might be happening. So let's just have a look at what the Oracle card says for that day. These are the... regeneration. Okay, well, that makes sense. If you're going to give yourself the time and space, then that means that you're going to allow yourself to regenerate. Very synonymous with the Knight of Pentacles energy as well, which means that it may be that still a night, but it is the slowest moving night. So it gives you an opportunity not to be so defensive. The Chariot as well, just holding back and stopping yourself, that is in the same vein as the law of giving, like you're giving, but it's also being able to hold back. That's also giving yourself the opportunity to do that. It's kind of expanding your ability to kind of work in this situation. So that's really interesting. These are the God, I can't even remember. Sorry, my friends. These are the All-Seeing Heart Tarot, All-Seeing Heart Oracle. And then another Oracle card I've got here, which is the Activation Codes Oracle, Activation Oracle. Okay, so it's Gaia, and it is reversed. But the frequency of Gaia reminds us that we are intimately connected to one another, just as we are to our Great Mother and to the universe that birthed us all. So, again, in this frame of giving, there's this aspect of us understanding that we're all part of the same thing. We're all trying our best. We're all doing everything that we can in order to kind of work with each other to do what we can. That's all you can do, humans are going to be humans. Humans are just going to act in the way that they're acting. So we've just got to love them for who they are and just kind of give them the benefit of the doubt. Doesn't mean that you have to compromise yourself, all right? But it means that you can just give them enough peace so that you have peace. You know what I mean? Anyway, those are your messages for Monday, the 12th of December. I hope you enjoyed that. And let's move on to the 13th. Hello, my friends. And we're back again with the 13th of December 2022, a Tuesday, the day of Mars. So let's see what is in store for that day. Now, we don't have any major transits on this day, so we can go straight into the cards. Dear Spirit, what messages do you have for the 13th of December 2022? We have the Lovers reversed. We have the 5 of Swords. I almost went straight into the 8 card there, and I was like, no, don't do that, Rena. Okay, so we've got the Four of Wands, Lovers reversed, Five of Swords, and then we also have the Eight of Wands. So it's almost like a promise of something. A promise of something where someone tried to make it out as if they could deliver the world, but it was all over the place and they weren't able to. It could be a whirlwind romance. It could be some kind of partnership where you thought that maybe there was an opportunity for things to grow. And now you're starting to realize that it might have been a load of BS. And really, this doesn't really ride, doesn't really work out. You know, it's all a bit castles in the air kind of thing. Not quite the Six of Cups, but, you know, I always think that saying, if something is too good to be true, it probably is. So that's the kind of sense I'm getting for Tuesday. The moon is in Leo. So, I mean, that's quite understandable that could happen. We do have Mercury as well. So communication will be very key in this respect. And what I'm getting more so is communication with yourself, because it doesn't seem like you're going to be able to communicate in a way that you want to with others. You may be able to, but I think when you show that you can communicate to yourself in a really succinct way, then that's when other people start to listen to you, funnily enough. Before that, they kind of don't really listen. But there's something about you kind of facing something insurmountable. Like it's almost like that. It's like, wow, how do I deal with this? How do I actually work with this? Because one, it's all happening really, really fast. And two, it's also happening very kind of, you know, it's almost like there's smoke and mirrors that are happening here, so that I can't actually ascertain what the truth is of the situation. And it's all because of this Lovers reversed. Because I don't know if somebody may have presented something to you to say that they, you know, that they were going to promise you something, or they decided that it wasn't, or it just didn't work out, or you found them out. You know, there's maybe a chance that you found out what they were actually up to. Okay, so you've got 3 of these. We'll take them all because we just will. We've got Reunion of Souls. Interesting, Reunion of Souls, and then the Lovers reversed. So what I'm seeing here is, by you not being together, almost it's being seen that what it is that you had when you were together. And then we've got Integration reversed. Yeah, because there's an inability to be able to come together. Okay, I know that sounds really contradictory. So there's an ending here of 2 people or 2 entities splitting apart. It may not be the right time to come back together, because nobody can kind of agree on whether or not, like, what is, nobody seems to be accepting defeat here. Everybody's like kind of like, they're like thinking that they're right, but they kind of only want a nice outcome. And lots of rockets are being fired, lots of opportunities are, like, basically lots of goes are, lots of, like, there's a lot of like chat. People are trying to make things okay. They're trying to doctor the situation, but it's just not working. The integration isn't happening fully, and this is a kind of thing for teaching. So it's almost how to learn to move within this space, so that you understand this kind of how these 2 souls can be together. Because it seems like quite a, maybe this is only for some of you, but maybe you guys got back together or something, or there's been like a reconnection between 2 people, and then you're realizing that you're still having the same problems, still having the same issues. So let's have a look at just some of these oracle cards. Talisman, you are destined to succeed, and it's reversed. So what I'm seeing this as is that basically you are like, the way, it's that saying, you can't solve a problem from the same paradigm that it was created in. It needs to be something different. And that's what's going on here. So something needs to change here, something fundamental. You will succeed. I think this will be successful, but I think that there just needs to be a bit of trial and error that goes on in the respect of this, because we've got some good cards here. We've got the four of wands here and Mercury. So I think it's about communication more than anything else. I do also see that bluey greeny color, so maybe something can come to light tomorrow, because tomorrow is the day of Mercury. Today's the day of Mars, which is kind of like the clashy kind of day, but whereas like tomorrow is Mercury. So let's see how things kind of pan out in that respect. But I would say don't expect to win any wars right now. There's something that you need to learn. And also on the flip side of that as well, I was told that, or like I listened to this particular astrologer, and she said that if you try to win any battles that are tried to win, or that get started at this time, the person who thinks that they're going to win or incurs the battle or starts the battle is probably the one that's going to lose, because they started it during a Mars retrograde, because it's just like the energy of the attacking kind of force, and then it's kind of you're working against that with it being in a retrograde. So those are the energies for the 13th of December 2022. I hope you enjoyed that, and stay tuned if you want to see the rest of the week. Hello and welcome to the 14th of December 2022. It is a Wednesday, the day of Mercury, and today the Sun is in Sagittarius squaring Neptune in Pisces. So any way that you think you already know something about something, you might need to put that belief in the bin, because right now you might get questioned, not even questioned. The universe might show you a way of saying, actually, no, you don't know it all. And also, if you have a tendency to get involved with particular substances, be that drugs or alcohol, that might be something that, you might need to be careful of. So just watch out for that, because with that Neptunian energy, it can make you get a little bit, woohoo, let's just go over it, man, and just get all involved in it and lose ourselves in a way. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting. It's basically the idea of escapism. And if we are, maybe this is a good opportunity for you to ask, why are you wanting to escape from this situation? Why are you wanting to move out of it? What's the big deal? Why is that the case? I say, what's the big deal in the just as a question. I'm not putting down anything about anybody's experience. It's very important to consider these things in all different kinds of ways. So please do take that with a pinch of salt. Okay, so let's have a look at Wednesday, the 14th of December, 2022. We've got the Eight of Cups. We've got the King of Cups, and then we've also got the Magician. Lovely. Okay, 3 cards. Nice. Because we've been having about 4 or 5, so I'm glad that we got 3 this time. So it's almost like you're having to manifest from a particular position where you can't walk away from something emotionally. And it's because there's a big emotional tie to this situation. It's almost like there is a lot of emotional responsibility that is associated with this situation. So, considering what we've just talked about, you could get invited to a family do, and at this family do, you've got a uncle or a father figure who loves to have a drink, loves to get involved with stuff and get everybody on par, and it's due to a sense of them feeling a little bit like that they have to escape into this space when they are, when they have everybody around. I don't know if you've ever seen that with certain people, like when they have lots of people around, and then, you see how maybe they're not so happy when they are at home. So or when nobody's there. So that might be something that might need to be revisited. And also with the Magician here, it shows that your influence within this situation, it's something very nice. It's something very soothing. It's almost like you're able to help that person get to a space where they can really be exalted in their power rather than be succumbing to the kind of the sadness of their situation. So that's really nice, actually. Let's have a look. Okay, you got a couple. Wow, so beautiful, these cards. Solar calm, clarify. Interesting. So it's just being clear about what's going on. And in that clarity, you encourage others to be clear. And then with that clarity, it's just a sense of maturity that isn't imposed. It's almost like you inspire as opposed to enforce. And then you've also got Aries, act. Sometimes not acting is the best thing to do. Sometimes not getting involved in certain things, not taking action, just watching, being there for people. You know, that's sometimes really important. The invitation. So yeah, this is an invitation for you to see what action you will take in this situation. To see how you will move forward within this situation. The silence. So you've got some clear indicators here that say that you are going to be invited to a situation that is going to require your ability to be able to make a good decision that doesn't provoke anything. And I'm not talking about walking on eggshells. I'm talking about, you know, knowing when is the right time to confront a situation or to be able to engage in a situation. Interesting for Wednesday. Very interesting energy for Wednesday, but very apt with this Magician card. I hope you like that, my friends, and stay tuned for the 15th. Otherwise, have a beautiful week. Bye. Hello, my friends, and welcome to this reading for today, which is the 15th of December, 2022. It is a Thursday, the day of Jupiter, the day of expansion. For those of you who are continuing to watch the whole thing all the way through, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being patient with me. So let's have a look at the energies of the 15th. There is no major transits today. It's just that the moon is in Virgo. And yeah, let's see what the cards have to say for the 15th of December 2022, Jupiter Expansion Day. Okay, so we've got the Queen of Wands. So oh wow, and then the Empress energy, and then we have the Two of Swords. Okay, so a little bit of a deeper message here than has previously been coming out. I see somebody who didn't have a very good relationship with their mother, or didn't have a very empowering mother figure in their life. They are able to manifest something truly incredible, regardless of whether or not that issue happened. The only thing I would say here, though, is that it seems like some previous work that has occurred. So, for example, if you've done some shadow work or something like that, that might be uncovering something, and you may have to deal with it. Now, that's not a bad thing. It's just like, you know, if you're I mean, the majority of the people that come and watch my channel, they do the work. They do the work consistently. They're always going through stuff. They're always working through stuff. And with this Two of Swords, it's almost like something that was... It's almost like, you know, as I've said many times, when you have a detox or you're doing this work, stuff comes up to the surface and you might feel not so great for the next couple of days, you know. That might happen. So in the sense of us wanting to expand with the Jupiter energy, there's something that might come up to the surface that might show itself in some kind of unhealed trauma in relation to the mother wound or the mother line. It may not even be direct either. It may be like something that you find out, maybe via an aunt or some kind of female figure that is connected to that maternal line, and you're like, wow, I wasn't expecting that. That was a bit left field. That happened. So that might be occurring. It may even be like an issue that you have to deal with at work, and you're like, wow, I remember like when that maternal figure it could be even an aunt, that I remember when that maternal figure, or that reminds me of this thing that happened with that aunt or mother or whatever. But it's something to do with some female, there's a lot of female energy here. But with this Queen of Wands, I'm definitely getting something kind of, you're able to, you're almost like on a next level to it. Whereas the Empress is kind of just, the Empress is all the queens reversed. So obviously that collective energy is going to be greater. But with the Queen of Wands, it's almost like it's going to allow you to not sink into that hole. That's another interpretation as well. Like you might see a pitfall of where like you ended up being like you could have gone down that road and you decide not to. So, okay. Okay, you've got 2. Lovely. So we've got transition, and then we've also got earth. Interesting. So 7 and 6, the 43 and 24, they're both reversed. So it's almost like, yeah, something needs to kind of, something needs to be addressed before this transition can take place. Earth is also reminding me of Mother Earth as well. So for you to find this kind of like groundedness in this sense of earth, however earth means, whatever earth means to you. And we're not just talking about, you know, the earth, you know, planet earth. But here it actually says the aspects of our great mother. So this is about female, very strong female energy on the 15th of December. So sending you lots of love, my beautiful collective. Okay. Yeah, I'll pull some astrology for you as well. So you've got 2 here. You've got Venus. And then you've also got the waning gibbous. The calm after the storm. The Empress is here. So, I mean, this is very much about the mother today. Very interesting energy. So watch that. See what happens on that day. Let me know what you think in the comments as well. If there's anything happening on Thursday. If you're watching this beforehand, or if this is today, let me know if there's anything happening. Anyway, I'm going to move on to the 16th. Hello, welcome to the 16th of December 2022. It's a Friday, the day of Venus, the day of love, and interesting transit today, or interesting kind of resonance that's happening. Last quarter of the moon is in Virgo, before we go into the last new moon of the year. If there is anything that is holding you back, that is making you think that you, or making you doubt yourself in any way, today may be a really good opportunity for you to go out and see what it is, not just what you're grateful for, but to having a look at why things function the way they do. So, you know, what's really interesting is that I see it as when like a flower just blooms at the side of the road. The flower doesn't think, oh my God, I'm not going to be like an amazing like flower that's going to be at the like an award-winning flower show. I'm not going to be like in this Royal Botanical Gardens. It just blooms. It just does its own thing, and it does what it has to do. That's all it does. There's a sense of freedom, a sense of not having to worry about like any kind of stigma that is attached to the idea of what they're trying to achieve in this world and in this lifetime. So that's what this last quarter is encouraging you to do. Grow the freedom from inside. So it's like meditate, looking at the birds outside, look at the trees. They're just beautiful, and they don't compare themselves. Look at the clouds, how light they are, how they move fast. Imagine yourself like one of those clouds, light and free from judgment, and grow the freedom from inside. So, and I think this is a really beautiful thing to think about with our upcoming kind of end of the year. So that's something to think about for today. And also it's a way of being able to show yourself that sense of love, which will be indicative of Venus Day for today. So let's see what the tarot has to say about that. We have the Nine of Cups. We have the Princess of Wands, which is the Page of Wands, reversed. Okay, you got 5 cards today. Princess of Swords as well, so 2 pages. The Hermit reversed. And the Two of Cups. So what I'm seeing here is misery loves company, right? Misery loves company. And in that respect, I don't know if these two, by actually stepping out of their comfort zone and meeting each other, they actually are able to either kind of be miserable together, or actually, once I said that, I was like, actually no, because you've got the Nine of Cups. Well, it could be that misery loves company, but it could also be that these two characters are able to turn themselves around and become upright once they've met each other. It could be 2 friends, social groups, going out there, being with each other. But it's almost like, you know, when you've just got those friends that when they're together, they've just got their own kind of clique, and they just hang out together, and they've got their own beliefs. And I don't know, with these two reversed, it's a little bit unhealthy, but that's them, you know. You don't have to associate with them or anything like that. But it just seems like there's 2 people, and, you know, they're getting what they want from each other. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a relation. It's some kind of relationship, but doesn't mean it's romantic. I'm honestly seeing like 2 friends who are girls, probably because, like, you know, we've got the princesses here, but just in more of the respect of I'm just seeing 2 people who are like they're quite misguided. And then because they're both misguided, they're finding the ability to be able to have some kind of camaraderie in that sense. And they're able to actually get the confidence to go out and be themselves by going out and doing stuff. That's what I'm seeing. Let's see what the cards have to say. Let's see about this. Wow. You'll be guided through the darkness. The moon reversed. So it's almost like the blind leading the blind. I've got a feeling you're going to see this. I've got a feeling you're going to observe it. You're going to see it, and you're going to be like, dang, I'm really glad that that's not me. Or it might remind you of when you used to be like that. When there was a time when you might have behaved in the same way, and you're like, oh, I remember when I used to do stuff like that. When I was young. Oh, and then we've got Chiron reversed. Okay, so yeah, this is a karmic kind of pattern that needs to be resolved. That will be resolved. That is being resolved through this. And even if you see it, it might be something about you observing that and being, that's how far you've moved on in that respect. Interesting. I like this reading for today. Not that I haven't liked the others, but this is really interesting. 16 masculine energy, and it's reversed. So I don't know, I just, you know, and I definitely resonate with this energy, with the whole thing of, like, you know, going out and just getting wrecked and, you know, just being a troublesome teenager. That's the kind of energy. And I mean, it's not necessarily that they're troublesome teenagers. It might be something else. It might be like they might be a bit older. But I definitely get that sense of that kind of carefree attitude, that doesn't have, that isn't taking responsibility with that masculine energy reversed. There's something about a carefree attitude where I don't care, I'm just going to do what I like because I'm young and I can do whatever I want. That's the energy I've got, because particularly with that sword here that's reversed, it kind of shows me that, you know, it's even more misguided. Usually when the Princess of Swords is reversed, there's an opportunity for that princess or the page to be able to actually take a good look at their sword. But in this case, it's so ski-whiff, it's just all over the place. Can't even see it, particularly with that moon reversed as well. And I think I mentioned it in one of my readings about the whole idea of like going from darkness to darkness. Here, there's a possibility of being in some space where it wasn't, they were feeling in a dark place, and now it's become a little bit, but the light that they're finding with each other is something nice. I don't know whether or not they'll actually whether they'll see through it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I just saw the Four of Wands reversed on the bottom. So all I can say is that it's from a space of unhappiness that they've come together. So it will be up to them to resolve it. But yeah, I've got a feeling that you're going to be privy to this situation rather than be in it. Anyway, my friends, thank you for being with me on the 16th of December 2022. I'm now moving on to the 17th, and I'll see you there. Okay, so we're now on the 17th of December 2022, a Saturday, the day of Saturn. And today the transit is Mercury in Capricorn, trining Uranus at retrograde in Taurus. For all of those who can't work in sales, or for all of those who work in sales and services, today is the day to make the maximum number of negotiations of the whole year. No pressure, right? Put your strategic planning into action and raise your energy high to achieve the highest sales goals. Okay. Well, if you're able to watch this the week before, or if you're watching this at the beginning of the week, this might give you an opportunity to be able to achieve that by Saturday. So there's an incentive, right? Let's see what the cards have to say about this. Okay. A lot, by the looks of things. Okay, so we've got the Ace of Cups reversed. I laugh because we're told that we need to make something out of nothing, pretty much. The Six of Pentacles reverse, Six of Pentacles upright, the Three of Cups reversed. There's going to be a lot of competition. You're going to have some fun though. Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you, it doesn't really look like the greatest day for this sales thing to be happening, but you know, you can have some fun while you're at it. Maybe it's just an opportunity to have a bit of Christmas cheer while you're at it. I don't know. Bottom of the deck energy is the Knight of Cups. So, yeah, it's almost like you're starting off from a place where there isn't any opportunity for you to be able to kind of get something. There's a real imbalance here. But, you know, you're all working together and it's harmonious. But you're almost working against something that you just can't control. And there may be a tendency to go into a space where you're not where your own personal emotional state may get compromised, so that you end up not feeling great about what's going on. So I don't know about that. So what is it? It's Mercury in Capricorn trining Uranus retrograde in Taurus. So if it's Uranus retrograde in Taurus, then this is why that's happening. You know, that aspect of things just not seeming to allow you to feel like you're working towards some sense of stability. So, I mean, that's understandable with that. So, but it seems like you'll work through it. Just remember the odds may seem against you, and if they seem that way, then they probably are. So take it easy on yourself, all right? Don't be too hard on yourself. Okay, let's see some oracles for that day. Passion. So remembering your why, the frequency of passion reminds us that beneath every intense emotion lies the hidden gem of insight, balance and calm. It assists us in finding the balance within, and within this intensity, moving us from chaos to the calm of its core, where we can let its long-lasting wisdom fill us up. And that's number 7. Okay. And then let's have a little look with these cards as well. The seer, yeah, this is about you gaining some kind of perspective on how a situation can work for you. Even though there's an expectation of you to actually get something from a situation, it's more that, you know, what am I going to do to make this more productive? Like, how am I going to learn from this, basically? How am I going to expand myself within this situation? But I do think that you will have a good time with some people. It might be like... It might be moving a boulder up a hill, but yeah, you'll have a good time with some people. You'll be able to feel like maybe there's some kind of Christmas cheer going on between the 3 of you, or between you as a company. What I'm seeing, yeah, right, is the idea that you've got to like work on a weekend, because obviously it's a Saturday. You've got to work on a weekend, but then you're meant to like do like almost the whole week's work on this day. So I just find that a little bit weird. That with that justice reverse, it tells me that things are kind of against you. So it's all about seeing why that you're even in this situation. That's the kind of insight that's coming from here. Sorry about that, my loves. The camera just cut out, so I decided to pull another 2 cards for you. You've got Uranus, or Uranus, which is reversed, which is interesting because Uranus is retrograde today. And then you've also got the first quarter that is reversed. So it just seems to me that there is a lot of kind of energy that is kind of almost going in the wrong direction. So you may be it just feels like you're being put in a situation where you're having to swim against the current. You're having to swim against the flow. People are expecting you to do that. And so don't be surprised if it doesn't come to fruition. Don't give yourself too much of a hard time or anything like that. Just take it easy and just enjoy each moment for what it is. Okay, let's move on to the 18th of December, 2022. Hello, my loves. Okay, so we're here. We're at December the 18th, 2022, Sunday. The moon is in Scorpio. There are no major transits today, but let's just see what the cards have to say from this week. It's been an interesting week indeed. Expectations might have been high of this week, but let's see what Sunday has in store for us. The day of pure potentiality, and also the day of interesting, because we had the Ace of Cups reversed, I think yesterday, yeah, just now. And then we've got the Devil reversed, lovely. And then we've got the Six of Coins, interesting. So we've had similar cards that have come up. So, I don't know, from everything that's happened over the week, this is showing me that there is an opportunity for things to change, for things to actually, for you to learn from your mistakes and to understand where it is that you actually have an influence and where you don't. Because there are going to be full-on some situations where you don't have an influence. And once you understand those spaces, then you can understand where you do have an influence. In coaching, we have something called the circle of influence. So what we do is we understand who it is around us that we actually have influence over. What is it that we can do when we want to try and feel empowered within a situation? How do we employ that? How do we go about that? So we see where our circle of influence is, how far it goes, where does it extend to? What's the truth? Because if we end up looking at something that is so outside of our circle of influence, we'll end up feeling like there is no hope. There is absolutely no hope of us being able to take forward a situation. Whereas if we're looking at things slowly, or looking at things that are actually within immediate effect, something that we can truly affect, then there's an opportunity for us to really do something about it, and to also grow our sense of empowerment. So yeah, that's the message I get from those. Pretty clear, actually. Let's see what the astrology has to say. I'm just going to take the first one. 7th house, relationship. This could be about your relationships to others, about how you relate to others. Maybe coming to a new sense of understanding in how you relate to others. In, you know, the balance that needs to come into play in order for you to kind of employ this Ace of Cups energy and make sure that nobody is being obsessive. Nobody is being in a state of control. It's just all a flow, rather than it's equal give and take, yeah. Which, I mean, it never is completely equal all of the time, because it never can be. It has to be like this balance of where it's consistently like, you know, you're consistently like helping each other to balance. So I think that's what's going on. And also it might be that in your relationships with others, particularly your significant other, that's where you learn the biggest lessons. I mean, I'm a firm believer of that, but in terms of the dynamics of how you are controlling within a relationship, the give and the take. Forgiveness. Oh, that's a beautiful card. So, I mean, that kind of tells us that this is, yeah, it is the forgiveness that we have for our partners, for the people that are around us. If we can allow ourselves to indulge in that sense of forgiveness, we can truly elevate to another level, and be able to understand ourselves in a better way. Okay, you've got 2 here. You've got the Storm. And then I got another one. Reconnection. So I don't know if you might have had an argument or something with your other half or anything like that, or if there's been a disagreement, or if you've just been going through a general rough patch or something like that. There is a sense of you reconnecting, rekindling, coming back into, you know, forgiving each other, allowing each other to kind of be in a space where you can just reconcile. But also that could be with, you know, if you're not with anyone, it could also be a sense of how you would do that with yourself, you know, particularly when we see other people in relationships and we hear about them doing things to other people, or like we hear about how they behave within relationships. It might be like, oh my God, I'd never do that sort of thing. But if we think about the reasons why they do it, and what's really going on there, it's a lot more complicated than what we can see initially. So yeah, but that's your forecast for the week, my loves. I hope you enjoyed this format. Give me some feedback. Let me know what you think about this format. Let me know how I can improve it to make it a little bit more smooth, easy. What you'd like to see. Would you like some more cards? Would you like it to be a little bit longer, or is it all right with the length? Let me know. But otherwise, my darlings, I am wishing you a marvelous week. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support, for your subscribes. Please do keep your eyes out for pick a card readings. Do hit the bell icon so that you get notified of when I upload. But otherwise, have a beautiful week, my darlings, and I'll speak to you very soon. Bye.